Hi everyone, my name is Roman. Thank you for tuning in Jagged Alliance Flashback Dev Diary number 3. You've seen me in some of the videos before. Andreas was too afraid to go in front of the camera, so he pushed me in front now and is standing on the other side of it. So here we go. As promised last time, let's have a quick view on our new offices. And in this Dev Diary we'll dive into the alpha and show you some gameplay footage. We'll have a closer look at the prison level we've been building with our level designer. We'll show you some new special effects from our technical artist, Adrian. And that about sums it up. So have fun, enjoy the show.
Hey guys, I'm Adrian, I'm technical artist at Full Control, and recently I got a chance to work on the most important part of a video game, which are of course the explosions. So I want to show you one today and then talk a bit about all the components that are making up the final effect. So over here we have our little gas station, and if it takes enough damage then it's going to explode. And this is how the explosion looks. Now, this explosion is made of several parts, and I just want to walk you through a few of them. So, if we go over here, we can see the two fireballs, and they're two fireballs because we have two explosions, two gas stations next to each other. And the fireballs have a small offset between when they detonate, and that just adds a bit to the explosion, makes it feel a bit more powerful, a bit more violent. Now, one of the challenges in doing visual effects is that you need to make the effects feel believable, and I don't mean that they need to feel photorealistic, but they need to feel believable. They need to feel like they're part of the physical world. So you need to take in consideration a few basic physics rules, like or physics properties, like buoyancy, heat emission, velocity. And you can of course exaggerate those, but they need to be there, and they need to act in a believable manner. Now, if we move to the next ones, we have this big debris that leave a trail behind. So we have three types of debris that leave fire and smoke, and then we have another one that leaves some sparks. Now, the fiery ones, we have three versions of those, and we have the one in the left that's tall, so the debris movement is mostly upwards. Then the one on the top has a more horizontal movement, and then the last one in the right side of the screen, we have they have a more random curly movement, and then the bottom one, the one with the sparks goes mostly upwards as well. So another challenge in doing VFX is that you need to adapt the visual style of the effects to match the visual style of the game, and it's often easier to make photorealistic effects than to make stylized ones. So for Jagged Alliance, we decided that we want an almost cheesy, exaggerated kind of explosion. So as you can see, it has a lot of fire, it has a lot of smoke. Everything is big, everything is violent, and so we went for saturated colors. Okay, so next we have the ground dust wave. And this shows, again, the force of the effect, the force of the explosion. It shakes the ground, but it also has a gameplay implication because the player, because it's going to show to the player the area with the high impact damage. Moving on, we have some more additional effects. So on the top here we have the flashbangs that are complementary with the lights, with the real lights. And we have two flashbacks because, again, we have two explosions. Then we have some generic sparks that are flying, small ones that are flying around in all directions. Then we have the shockwave, which is not really physically correct for an explosion of this scale. It usually happens in much larger explosions, but it adds it does add a nice touch, and we kind of liked it. And then we have some small generic debris. So again, these are smaller parts, but they all add something to the explosion, and they all add something to the final look of the effect. And now to show you again the final explosion, and this is loopable. So here you can see all the separate parts coming together. The flashback, the small debris, the small sparks. Even though maybe when you saw them alone, they didn't look like much, but coming together, they really help making the explosion look like a complex effect. Now, every time the explosion happens, it looks unique because most of the components are randomized, so they have different random direction, random speed, and yeah, I guess that's about it. We're quite happy with how the explosion turned out, and I can't wait to show you guys more stuff next time. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm Philip, level designer and game designer for Jagged Flashback. So based on the story, we decided to go with a colonial fortress converted into a prison. Later abandoned for many years, but now occupied by military forces, used for interrogation and execution of the opposition. So it's been a back and forth process with the artists and level designers. Started out with a quick draft, attaching reference pictures, and from there to our concept artist, Jesper, who made this. And then I used this as a base when I built the prison. And this is how it looks today. So, the design of the prison is slightly different from other sectors. Since it's meant to be our tutorial level, it's slightly more linear than other sectors. Other sectors will be more open and approachable from almost every direction. You start up here in the jungle, and you move your way through the jungle up to the prison gates, and then you work your way through the prison, end up in the graveyard, where you pretty much complete the level. But the tutorial is for later, so right now we just made it for gameplay testing and combat. So anyway, here I am outside the prison, up in the jungle, and I'm just gonna take you through the level really quick. I'm not gonna shoot my way through. But as you can see, this is the outside, and here we have the parking lot, we have the gate, we have the inside of the prison, an overgrown warehouse not being used anymore. We have the barracks that's been renovated slightly, and the prison cells, and an execution wall. Out here we have the graveyard. So we pretty much followed the concept one-to-one after a few iterations, and pretty happy with the result. We are probably going to go back and iterate on it a few more times once we have all the mechanics in the game. This is the alpha we're releasing tomorrow. We're really excited about it. It's very limited gameplay. We're focusing on combat and basically testing out our levels that we've done so far. We're going to be tweaking a lot of values, we're going to be swapping out placeholders, and yeah, so on. So bear with us, but anyway, this is what we have for you right now. Hope you enjoy.